to your loyal and courageous friends. Okay. One day, Abu Jahl, a sworn enemy of Islam, attacked Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We all know that Abu Jahl was a very big enemy of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. While he was resting near the foothills of Safa, his verbal abuse could not move the determined Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So Abu Jahl hurled a stone and wounded him on his head. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam went home bleeding profusely. So because Abu Jahl was a very big enemy of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and rest of the entire whole, Muslim who accept Islam. So one day he couldn't control himself, and then what he did, he threw a stone on Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and what happened? That because of that stone, he got wounded, and then the blood started coming. Sayyidina Hamza radiallahu an, who was the foster brother and an uncle of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, had just returned after one of his daily hunting trips that morning. He was considered one of the bravest fiery soldiers of Arabia. So Sayyidina Hamza radiallahu an, he was basically the uncle of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He went somewhere, he was hunting. That day maybe he went for hunting, and then he was
Can I
coming.
go to the washroom?
Yeah, okay, go. So he went, and he was returning from there in the morning. He was considered one of the bravest soldier of Arabia. He was very strong and very brave. After his hunt, as was his habit, he went to Kaaba for his circumambulating tawaf. So when he came, after this hunting, he went to Khane Kaaba and he was doing tawaf. So you know what the tawaf means? To go round and round and round along the, around the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which is Khane Kaaba, right? So he was doing basically round and round and round around the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is known as tawaf. Okay, so he was doing tawaf. When he heard what Abu Jahl had done to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he became so angry. He was doing tawaf, and at that time he came to know that Abu Jahl threw a stone on Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He got injured, right? So he became very angry that he attacked Abu Jahl and made him bleed from his head. So he just revenged back, and he hurt. He also he also attacked on Abu Jahl, and then Abu Jahl started bleeding from his head. Although Sayyidina Hamza radiallahu anhu had as yet to not embrace Islam. He was not Muslim that time. Sayyidina Hamza was not Muslim that time. He didn't accept Islam. He didn't embrace Islam. But because he was Chacha of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, uncle, he was uncle of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, so he didn't feel good that why he attacked on my on my relative. Although Sayyidina Hamza radiallahu anhu was not Muslim at that time, he nevertheless loved his nephew Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam very dearly. As I said, because Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was his nephew. They have close relationship. They were relatives, so he didn't feel good why he attacked on Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. On reporting to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam of his revenge against Abu Jahl, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that although he was grateful for the kind thoughts he had for him, he would feel very happy indeed if Sayyidina Hamza radiallahu anh accepted Islam. On hearing this, Sayyidina Hamza radiallahu anh immediately became Muslim. When Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam heard that he took revenge, Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam didn't feel happy that he took revenge. But Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, what he said? I feel happy if Hamza accept Islam, because Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam knew The one who do not accept Islam will go in Jahannam. The one who accept Islam and do good deeds will go in Jannah. So Nabi Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said the eternal, like Nabi Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam feel the eternal happiness is if he and I will be together in Jannah, right? Being a relative. So Nabi Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, I'll be more happy or I'll feel happy if you accept Islam because he was not Muslim. So when Hamza radiallahu anh heard this, that Nabi Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is asking me to be a Muslim, then he immediately became Muslim. Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anh was considered a brave, strong personality of Makkah. On other hand, one was Hamza, and Nabi Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, asked him, "I feel more happy if you will accept Islam," and he became Muslim. The second personality who was very brave, very strong, who was that? Hazrat Umar radiallahu anh. So what happened? He was so temperamental that the people of Makkah would avoid clashing with him anyway. People always stay away from Umar radiallahu anh. This much strong Hazrat Umar radiallahu anh was. People always avoid clashing, any kind of clash with him. He was one of the Quraysh who persecuted the Muslims and was incited in this direction to such an extent that one day he decided once and for all to assassinate Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Abu Jahl promised Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anh a gift of 100 camels and 1,000 silver coins. You know what happened? This is a very interesting story. Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anh was, one day, because he was also non-Muslim, but he was very strong, very brave. So one day, you know what happened? Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anh decided that I will kill Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam because he is, the Islam is spreading and every single person is becoming Muslim. So what I'm gonna do, I will kill Nabi Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, na'uzubillah, and by thinking this, Abu Jahl was also the enemy of Islam. So you know what happened? He said that if you will kill Nabi Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, I will give you 100 camels and 1,000 silver coins. On his way to Darul Arqam,
Nobody should care about that. Like, who would ever want camels?
because at that time
Kill
there were no
somebody.
cars. Yeah, actually, what happened at that time, there were no cars and there were no prizes to give. So when they want to give prize, either they give coins to someone in a form of silver or gold, or they offer camels, because camel was the very precious thing in Arabia at that time, because it's a 1400 years ago story, right? So 1400 years ago, there was no car to give as a gift. There was nothing to give as a gift. So the most precious thing for them was camels. So that is why they always offer camels to other person when they want to gift someone. On his way to Darul Arqam with an unsheathed sword, he met Naim bin Abdullah radiallahu anh, who on hearing Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anh intention replied to Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anh should first put his own house in order. His sister Sayyidina Fatima radiallahu anha and her husband Sayyidina Sayyid bin Zaid radiallahu anh had already embraced Islam. You know, that is a very interesting story. Now, Umar radiallahu anh was going to kill Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam with an open sword, like with a sword. And when he was going to Darul Arqam was a place where Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was present. So he said, I will go at that place and I will kill Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But while he was going there, Naim bin Abdullah radiallahu anh, when he saw Nabi Umar radiallahu anh, he said, where are you going? And he said, I'm gonna kill Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam today. So he said, okay, but first go to your own house, see your sister. She also accepted Islam, and her husband is accepted Islam, and already you have Muslim in your family, and you are going to kill Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Hazrat Umar, as you learn, he was very,
What type of Muslim is that?
they were not Muslim. Umar radiallahu anh was not Muslim at that time. So you are basically learning the story how he became Muslim. Okay?
Okay.
So when Umar radiallahu anh heard this, that my sister embraces Islam, because you are learning the story, the time when people were embracing Islam, when people were not Muslim and they were turning towards Islam, right? So, so what happened when he came to know that okay, my sister and her husband has accepted Islam, he turned back toward his sister house rather than going for killing Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He said, okay, let me check first my sister house. He went to the sister house. This loyalty by his own family made him so angry that Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anh turned toward his sister house, and on hearing them reciting the Quran, he beat his sister and husband so severely that they collapsed. When Umar radiallahu anh went to his sister's house, because Umar radiallahu anh was not Muslim that time, okay, he was non-Muslim. He was non-Muslim that time. So when he entered her sister house and he figured out that she is reading Quran, so he beat it sister, and he beat it so severely, right? They told him that they would prefer that than give up Islam. But the sister clearly said to Umar radiallahu anh, if you will, if I will die, I prefer die, but I will not accept Islam. I will not leave Islam. At their unshaken attitude, Umar radiallahu anh was thinking like if I will beat her, she will say, okay, I'm not be a Muslim anymore. But she said, I prefer that, but I will not leave Islam. At their unshaken attitude, Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anh calmed down and asked to hear what they were reading. Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anh start feeling like, okay, what is this? Like they are ready to die, but they are not ready to leave Islam. So they said, okay, what you were reading, can you please tell me? So she said, no, I was reading Quran and I cannot offer this to you and you cannot hold it because you are not in wuzu. So Umar radiallahu anh, he made wuzu and then he come back and then tell her sister, okay, tell me what you were reading. With an unsheathed sword is still in his hand, and he put the sword in the hand. He turned toward Darul Arqam. On arriving at the house of Sayyidina Arqam radiallahu an, no, sorry, Sayyidina Umar radiallahu an calmed down and asked her what they were reading. When he heard, so the sister said, okay, you go make wuzu and then come back, then I'll read the Quran. And when he made wuzu and come back and the sister was reading the Quran, it is written in the books that Umar radiallahu anh start crying and he said, I want to become a Muslim. This was the first day he said, I want to become a Muslim. While he was going to kill Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but suddenly his Allah diverted, Allah changed his heart, and he said, I want to become a Muslim. With the unsheathed sword is still in his hand, he turned toward Darul Arqam. Now he again, headed towards the Darul Arqam. On arriving at the house of Sayyidina Arqam radiallahu anh, that was a house of basically Arqam radiallahu anh. And that house is called Darul Arqam because openly Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam cannot talk, right? Because of the fear of Makkah people, because they torture so much to the people who accept Islam. So they hide in Darul Arqam, the place in Sayyidina Arqam radiallahu anh house, and then over there they talk about Islam. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam inquired about Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anh intention, while Sayyidina Hamza radiallahu anh and other companions stood keeping a watchful eye for any ill-intended move by Sayyidina Umar, because Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anh had a Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anh he has a sword in his hand, right? So because he has sword in his hand, so everyone was thinking in Darul Arqam that he has here with some bad intention. But then what happened? Sayyidina Hamza radiallahu an and all other Sahaba, they were keeping eye on Umar radiallahu an. If he will do something bad with Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they will right away answer him. And then Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam wanted to know why Umar is here. But when they heard that he had come to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam to accept Islam, they were so overwhelmed and overjoyed that their cry of Allah is great echoed throughout the valley and mountain of Safa. When Umar radiallahu anh said, I want to become a Muslim, everyone start shouting with happiness. Everybody starts saying Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. They were so overjoyed. They were so happy because why they were so happy? Do you have any idea why they were so happy?
Because he joined Islam.
He joined Islam, and other than that, on the top of that, he was very brave. He was very brave. So everyone was very happy because they were thinking we have to hide ourselves talking about Allah. But when Umar will accept Islam, we don't need to hide anymore. We will openly talk about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, inshallah. They were thinking this way, and that is why they were very happy. So they start saying Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar throughout the valley of the mountain of Safa. This was the 6th year of Nabuwat. So when Hazrat Umar radiallahu anh accepted Islam, it was 6th year of Nabuwat. Okay, when Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, become a prophet after 6 years, Hazrat Umar radiallahu anh become Muslim. Okay, so I will ask you a few questions just to make sure that you understand this topic correctly. Okay, what was the intention of Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anh to meet Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Why he was going there?
Because
Sarah, loud.
because he wanted to kill him.
Yeah, because he wanted to kill Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And why he wanted to kill Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam?
Because he would get. Because that time he wasn't a Muslim and he wanted to kind of kill Muslims.
Why?
No. Because he was mad.
No. Yes, Sarah.
Because someone, I forgot the name. They told him to. He told him to. If you kill the prophet, then you will get 100 camels and.
Yeah, Abu Jahl offered him, I will give you 100 camels and this and that if you will kill Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Remember, Fatima? So he was.
Oh yeah.
Plus, he was not happy with Nabi Muhammad. Number one, he was not happy with Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam because so many people were embracing Islam, and in actual, Makkah was free from Muslims at that time. There were no Muslim in Makkah when Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam bring this religion of Allah. Then till 6 years, so many people were accepting Islam, and which was not accepted by other people, right? So they decide he is the source of bringing this religion. Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the source of bringing this religion. So why not kill Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? And then nobody will talk about Islam. That is why he headed toward Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam to kill him. Then why Umar radiallahu anh changed his mind? How he changed his mind? When he was going to kill Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, what happened? What was the story? Like what happened? And why he didn't? How he changed his mind?
So he changed his mind because I think because of his sister was reading Quran, and then he got mad. But then I think his sister told him, they said I think she said something about when she would die, I think.
And Sarah, you? What do you think?
When he was going to go kill the prophet, someone blocked him and he said, "Well, where are you going?" And then he said, "He's gonna kill the prophet." And then he said that the person that was blocking him, they said that why do you want to kill the prophet if there's already someone in your family that is your sister and her husband that's a Muslim now. So then he went straight to the house and then he
But what was a turning point? Why he said, I want to become a Muslim? What was a turning point?
because his sister, because he liked the Quran when he was reading it.
The turning point was he was very angry. He was beating his sister. But the turning point is when he said, okay, when sister said, if you're gonna kill me, even that time I will not leave Islam. I don't scare if you will kill me, it's fine. So this make him little, he start thinking like, why she has so much courage, like, okay, if you were gonna kill me, and I will not leave Islam. So the turning point is when he said to the sister, okay, tell me what you were reading. She said, no, first go wazoo and then come back, and then I will read Quran in front of you. So it's written that he was reading the ayats, and by the time he was reading, and Umar radiallahu anh was listening the recitation, this recitation goes inside the heart, and this turned Umar radiallahu anh to accept Islam. This ayats of Quran basically turned, not sister, okay? The ayats of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when she was reciting and he was listening those recitation, those words, that that words goes inside the heart, and he start feeling this is not fake. Okay, he start feeling this is a true religion, this is a correct religion. These ayats of Quran bring a change in the heart, and he start thinking, oh, this is not a fake religion, this is not a fake ayats, this is not something fake. This bring something in the heart of Umar radiallahu anh, and Umar radiallahu anh start thinking, okay, I want to accept Islam. What happened when Umar radiallahu anh went to Darul Arqam? What the Sahaba was thinking to see him?
They were cheering.
No, in a
Cheering.
start, what they were thinking?
Cheering.
They
were thinking that this guy that wanted to kill Prophet the Prophet is finally accepting Islam.
Very good. In a start, Fatima, they were thinking might be because they know Umar radiallahu anh is not Muslim. So in start, they were thinking Umar radiallahu anh had some bad intention for Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because Umar radiallahu anh also has sword in his hand, right? So they were thinking might be he has some bad intention for Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and they were keeping eye on him. If he will attack, we will write back reply to him. But basically when he said, I want to accept Islam, everyone became so. What was the reaction of the Muslim then?
I'm happy.
They were very happy. And why they were happy? Why they were happy?
Because they got a new person. They got like I think they got a new person.
One new person was accepting Islam, but top of that, he was a very. Why they were saying Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar? Because they were happy.
Because he joined Islam.
He joined Islam is one thing. There were so many other people who joined Islam, but why they were so happy for Umar radiallahu anhu only?
Because he was first about to kill the Prophet, and then he didn't.
No. Sarah?
Because he went to kill the Prophet at first, and then he came back saying that he wants to accept Islam. So
No. The reason is, I told you, he was a very brave person. And Muslims were thinking
Oh,
that if he will accept Islam, then we don't need to hide talking about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then we can openly talk about the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in open environment, in openly in Makkah. And you know, this was a true, because it's not written in this book, but in details it is written right after, because Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, okay, don't go because people torture. But Umar radiallahu anh said, no, I will go in Makkah, or I will go in Kaaba, and I will openly tell them that I embrace Islam, and I will openly read the Salah in Kaaba. And then, because he was so brave, nobody dared to fight with him. So he ran there with other Sahaba. He announced, I accept Islam, and I am reading the Salah here in the Kaaba, and if anyone want to come and talk to me, you can come. Nobody dare to come and talk to Hazrat Umar radiallahu anh. This much people afraid with with Umar radiallahu anh. This was the reason they were happy. This was the reason Muslims were thinking that now we can openly start praying. Now we can openly talk about the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Because before that they were hiding here and there. You know, the Darul Arqam is a place where they always hide and talk about Islam. They gather and
yeah.
talk about Islam. But after Umar radiallahu anh, they were very happy because they were thinking like we will openly now talk about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this was one incident of Umar radiallahu anh which you read in this book. And the second brave person was, who was that? What was the name of that second brave person? Who was the relative of Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam?
His sister or his cousin, I think.
He was his yeah, he was his relative, uncle. What was the name of him? Because you should always remember these important names who are, these
I
names
know
are
it,
very
but I
important.
don't think I could say it.
Hamza radiallahu anh, okay?
Yeah,
And Hamza radiallahu anh basically, in the first battle of Islam, Hamza radiallahu anh killed so many leaders of non-Muslims. So in battle of Uhud, Hamza radiallahu anh is a person, he got killed. He not, I shouldn't use this word killed. It martyred. He was shaheed. He martyred, and the grave of Hazrat Hamza radiallahu anh in the field of Uhud. So I think you are going on Umrah, right? Fatima, you told me you are going on Umrah, or I don't know if
yeah.
yeah, you are going on Umrah. So when you will be in Medina, inshallah, you will go at the Battle of Uhud place. They normally go, so I hope your mom will take you there. And there is a graveyard where 70 Muslim graves are there. But Hazrat Hamza radiallahu anh was the person. His grave is little aside, and the name is written there, Hazrat Hamza radiallahu anh. So he is the same Hazrat Hamza radiallahu anh. And when he was fighting in the Battle of Uhud for Muslims and he died, he was killed. So the lady Hinda, she said to the person, when you will kill, you will come and you will confirm me that I killed Hamza. So I want to go and visit him personally. So she went there, and she just tear the chest of Hazrat Hamza radiallahu anh. She took the kidneys and livers out and she started chewing. She chewed Hazrat Hamza's liver, kidney, and all the things which are inside, even though he was dead. But she opened the chest and she took everything out, and she chewed. This much hatred she had for Hamza radiallahu anh. And Hamza radiallahu anh was a very brave soldier. His title was Asadullah, the loin of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when Hinda, the name of that lady who chewed the part of body of Hazrat Hamza radiallahu anh, her name was Hinda. And it happened in the Battle of Uhud. So normally when people go for Umrah, so they visit that place and they saw the battlefield and they saw Hazrat Hamza graveyard. So inshallah, tell your mom to show you, and inshallah she will show you. And then when you come back to the class, inshallah tell us that okay, I visited the place. And when you go there, make dua for them that oh Allah give them highest status in Jannah, inshallah. And they were a true fighters of Islam, very true fighters of Islam. They were non-Muslim, they became Muslim, and they fight for Islam and they died. So may Allah elevate their status, inshallah. And the person who killed Hazrat Hamza radiallahu anh in the Battle of Uhud, he also embraces Islam after some time. But Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam cried so much for Hamza radiallahu anh, not only because he was a nephew, but also because he was a brave soldier, and you know they did very bad to the body of Hazrat Hamza radiallahu anh, like they open it and they chewed, and you know they wanted, even though he died, he killed, and he but even after that they did this with Hazrat Hamza radiallahu anh. This much Hazrat Hamza radiallahu anh, you know, he was a very brave soldier of Islam. He was a brave Sahabi radiallahu anhu ajmain. So inshallah, when you will go there, inshallah, visit the graveyard of all the people who are in the Ohad, and also the grave of Hazrat Hamza radiallahu anh. It is written there a big you know, in big writing. This is a graveyard of Hazrat Hamza radiallahu anh on the Battle of Uhud. It's in Medina. Okay, so normally when people go on Umrah, they visit that place. So inshallah, these are the stories of Islam. These are very interesting stories. Always keep these stories in mind. So it will always give you courage to understand and talk about Islam, inshallah. Okay. So inshallah, we will keep the class till here, and you can read the dua, and then inshallah I can finish. Subhanallahi wa bihamdihi.
Subhanallahi wa bihamdihi.
Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika.
Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika.
Nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta.
أشهد لا إله إلا
نستغفرك ونتوب إليك.
نستغفرك ونتوب إليك.
سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون.
سبحان ربي.
سلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.
سلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام عليكم.
Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz Fatima. Okay, Farah, Assalamu alaikum.
Welcome, Assalam.
Okay, Farah, I am just making you host, and I'm leaving from here just to download the file, and then I'll inshallah come back. Okay?
Okay.